Hey bitches, welcome back to my channel. We have some breaking news as I'm sitting down to record this video. I know you guys are always so excited when I talk about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Well, as we all know, Gypsy Rose is pregnant. She left her husband Ryan to get with a man named Ken that everyone thought that he was just like a raging homosexual that was just using her. Well, it is being reported over on TikTok. I think I saw this on Nina, the beauty influencer, was the original TikToker that I saw talking about this. They are reporting that Ken has fled the coop. He is done with Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And honestly, I have to say that I'm not really surprised because the other day I came across a live stream from Gypsy Rose. She is apparently jealous that Ryan has a new lady in his life. She was over on a TikTok live stream commenting about the fact that he like touched some other lady's butt in a video. She said that they are still married, that is still her husband, so she did feel a certain type of way about it. Bitch, the audacity of her to even say that she is jealous about what Ryan is doing while she has a whole baby in her stomach. Like what? So I do have a bit of a Gypsy Rose update for people that actually follow her on social media, because there were people on TikTok as well as on Instagram that were wondering like what was going on with her. They noticed that a bunch of her content had actually been removed, like videos completely deleted. Well, people thought it was because of what is allegedly going on with Ken, and maybe it does. She uploaded to her TikTok story giving people like an update as to like what exactly is going on. And this is what she had to say. Content update. I will no longer be posting personal content on this public platform. Since it was released, I have shared with my supporters my hardships and achievements through the lens of social media. She's already like left like how many times? This is like the second or third time she's going to be going. However, I find myself at a crossroads that leads me to desire a more private life, sharing with only family and close friends these special moments. I greatly appreciate all the support and anyone who has ever stood by my side. I will keep posting updates on my new memoir, My Time to Stand, as well as our seasons with Lifetime TV. This is very much so reading to me as maybe she was oversharing on social media and the interest is kind of like dying down and maybe people aren't really viewing the TV show as much. So maybe there was like a meeting like, hey, you're too accessible to people, maybe you should pull back. I don't know, just my opinion. In addition to this public account, I have a private TikTok and Instagram at Cajun Heart of Mine and will only accept requests from those I personally know. Bummer. Whatever will we do? This decision was made with consideration to the well-being of my own mental health, that as well as the overall well-being of my family and daughter. We are all doing very well and are in good spirits, excited for our futures moving forward. So there you have it, the update from Gypsy Rose. Maybe we're going to be seeing less of her on social media. I give it until like the show dies down. Maybe there's a little bit of hype like going around her memoir. I'm not exactly sure. I don't even think I remembered that she had a memoir. So is anybody reading it? Are you going to check out the Audible? I want to say thank you to Factor for sponsoring my channel once again. And to be completely honest with you guys, I have been eating on these all week, so I only have these two left to show you. I also drank my mango juice before I sat down to record this video, but lucky for me, I have another one right here. These are so freaking good. I've also really been enjoying the cold brew protein latte shake to get me going every morning. Normally, I'm someone that can't really do caffeine, but that one does not give me the jitters at all. So as you guys know, back in August for my birthday, I made a pledge to myself that I wanted to start eating healthier and just stop ordering food every single day off of the apps. While I'm happy to let everyone know that because of Factor, I have actually been able to stick with that pledge, because I am someone that I will buy a bunch of food at the grocery store. It will literally go into the refrigerator. I will think about it all week long. I just will not get up and go to the refrigerator and actually put all the ingredients together. So the fact that Factor, you can literally stick this into the microwave for 2 minutes, use a skillet or stick it in the oven. I have to say though, now that I actually think about it as I'm sitting here, another great thing about Factor, it has honestly cut down so much food waste around here. Something that I love about Factor is it makes meeting your nutrition goals easier than ever by delivering fresh, never frozen, dietitian approved meals right to your doorstep. Factor's team of gourmet chefs create each meal using only ingredients with integrity to help you feel your best all day long. Each week you get to choose from a menu of 35 options for many different dietary needs, including Calorie Smart, Keto, Protein Plus, Vegan, or Veggie. They also offer Gourmet Plus meals. I'm actually going to place another order myself after recording this video. And speaking of, if you would like to give Factor a try for yourself, which I highly recommend, they were kind enough to give me a 50% off code. If you are interested, please go over to factor75.com. Select your plan for whatever meets your dietary needs. Please use code 50viewersvoice for 50% off your first box plus free shipping. If you are someone that is interested in checking out Factor, or you are someone that is already subscribed to their service, please let me know down in the comment section. And I want to say thank you to Factor once again for sponsoring my channel. And now let's get back to the video. Okay, moving on from that, we have to talk about Tati and Jeffree Star real quick. I have Dustin sitting over here with a microphone.
Hi, hello.
You guys hear him, or I'm just like looking in that direction.
I'm over here.
Hi.
I'm off camera.
You're good.
I'm doing what you did to me in my video the other day.
Isn't it like just so much easier to sit off camera?
It is. I love it.
It's so nice. So obviously we all know that Jeffree Star is on his podcast tour. We still have not seen the Just Trish episode. I would have thought that that would have come out like the Friday after Tana and Brooke's episode came out, but it hasn't. I don't know what the holdup is with Just Trish. Jeffree in this podcast talked about Dramageddon 2. We all knew that he was going to bring up James Charles, Tati Westbrook, Shane Dawson, every single person.
I love him. He was going to go through the whole gambit, girl. You knew that.
So when Jeffree got to the part about Tati, he said that she is like the most horrible person that he has ever met. Dustin has now moved to like directly behind the camera, so my eyes are
So about that, I think I mentioned it in one of the previous videos where you were talking about Tati and Jeffree. I know for a fact because I had spoken to Jeffree when all this stuff happened with Breaking My Silence when she dropped that video, and he told me right before that if Tati ever mentioned him, he would sue her. It is very interesting to me now that he's coming out and saying all these things, because he's kind of like pinning her into a corner, if you ask me, because he's like putting all this stuff on her once again.
I just think it's very interesting, and I wonder how Laura Lee feels, because she is, what did he say about her? That she was like, had like no soul, and she was like the most evil person that he has ever met. I guess that now it goes to Tati. So Laura Lee, congratulations.
Well,
I guess
it's not Laura Lee anymore. I think we're taking Laura Leach back because she's still a leech.
You think?
Yeah, we're bringing it back.
Also, like the YouTube drama era, the lie is always more entertaining than the truth. Why
That's all of the media.
You want to really
everything.
switch and be bipolar? Why did her second video hit so hard?
I loved this. I loved this transition. We went straight from Gypsy
I want to
Rose
ask
Tati.
you.
Why did her second
woman to man when she Yes, bitch. I want to know. I've never asked anyone this question because you're making
Tati Westbrook's second video.
You're making me reflect on a lot.
What was the title of the second video before I speak on?
Oh God.
Wait, in the second video, she's blaming
Me and
you
Shane.
and Shane for influencing her to make this.
Here's the thing, just for
first
the
video.
record, I don't feel like I need to prove myself to anyone ever, but I don't think or talk about these things often. So when I do, a lot of memories flood in. I've put a lot of this behind me. I don't think about it. It was a very dark time. And my question is all, and I've never got to ask anyone this, even as a fan or a viewer, because we're both viewers of what all happened, even though I was a part of it. Why do you think her second video hit? Did they just want me and Shane to be the villain for the 100th time?
I think people, even just the viewers watching, the fans of Dramageddon happening, were enamored by the idea of all of YouTube's hierarchy being even. I don't want to compare it to anything that's like happening right now in the media with like the Diddy stuff, but people are glued to the idea of the takedown of a hierarchy of anything, like all the Kardashians, everyone that's going to be taken down with Diddy. People love to see that.
I was never there, by the way. I like straight rappers. I was never there. I was never there. Ugh. Yeah, bunch of
That's
fucking...
honestly good spot to clarify. I was going to ask you that.
I think what was bizarre is me and Shane, and I've never even said this on camera before, we were busy filming the conspiracy documentary. We were filming for 10, 11 months how to create a product, our lives, all the newness of my life, my love life, my dogs, my exponential growth of my channel. The fact that anyone believed that we were bored to try to ruin someone's life on the side when we're living our dreams, our financial dreams, the viewers were so crazy. It was the biggest, most exciting thing me and him have ever done career-wise, and the most successful. I couldn't believe I woke up and people believed I'm the villain for the 100th time.
So there is one thing that ever since like Dramageddon 2 happened and the whole thing with James and Tati, the friendship falling out, him being exposed for being a predator, that kind of thing. There were influencers like Gabriel Zamora, Manny MUA, just to name two of them. I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head right now, but they were trying to drive home for everyone that this started and was because James was pushing another vitamin brand, Sugar Bear Hair. I think that was like a little bit of it, but I never 100% believed that Tati was like, let me destroy this influencer's life because he wanted to promote another brand. Jeffree in this podcast actually corrected Brooke and Tana because they brought up the Sugar Bear Hair and how basically it was like ego for Tati and like she was upset about that. He went on to say like, no, it was much more than that, and he was actually at the birthday dinner and detailed for them like some of the stuff that went on. How James allegedly got that 19-year-old waiter, I can't think of, Sam was his name, the one that looked like he was being interrogated in that video. Do you guys remember that video?
Yeah.
With like the light like shining.
He looked like a deer in the headlights.
Yeah.
It felt like an interrogation scene from a TV show.
But let's not forget though, Sam, like when was it? I think it was during COVID. Sam actually like wound up at James Charles' house.
Yeah.
He was no longer scared of that hotel room.
I think they still hang out. I want to know, it's really interesting to me how Tana is sitting here with Jeffree in the same room when she's befriended James Charles, I think for the second time now. But she was around when the whole Gage Gomez thing happened because remember, she was on James's side to begin with.
And then became friends with Gage
and
Gomez. Gomez.
she switched, and then she threw Gage to the wolves, and now she's friends with James again.
Yeah, fickle.
It's very strange.
Very fickle.
It's weird.
A lot of people are upset with Brooke and Tana for having Jeffree on the podcast, actually, because obviously we know what just went on with Brooke the last few months, where she was getting dragged left, right, and center on TikTok and all over social media for her racial things that she put out. And then Tana uploaded the episode of the canceled podcast where she said basically they were going to take like a different route and go a completely different direction, which nobody was therefore
that
at
never
all.
happened.
Never happened. But the reason that people are upset is like, was the new route like bringing Jeffree Star on, who has had like the exact same issues that you guys have had on social media? Like, what is this? A clan meeting?
I couldn't believe it.
But do you think there was like a convenience in like you guys being so powerful at that time and like putting it on you guys?
That's what I wanted to ask you.
And
Sorry,
she
let me be
was
quiet. So what do you think?
She was always threatened as well, like even just with the sugar bear hair, like all of that, like James, my gummy, this. It felt like she was insecure in her spot.
I was going to say, I thought that to be strange. Like, I think about it now, and like, if I had like a hat brand and then Tana stepped out in like a different hat brand because they're sending her to Coachella, I'd be like, slay.
Yeah, who gives
like,
a
I
fuck?
can't, I didn't understand like why it was such a serious thing. I guess like people are different, but
No, but it's
for it to
I
be
think that's
that
all
serious that
rooted-
you hold a grudge that makes you make a bi sister video, I was like,
rooted
but
in
then she-
insecurity.
she got me
There
with
was
the
a lot
ethos.
more
I'm
to
like,
it.
I
I
was
think.
like,
Do you also just think she was dumb and just straight up did not know how damaging it was? Maybe the first video, and then was manic. And
I think she's one of the worst people I've ever met. So I'm not trying to say anything for her.
I don't know if I've ever met her.
But it was more than the gummies. I think when you're telling a stranger, if you were to tell a stranger the story, the gummies seem to be like people's catalyst of like, this was the route.
When in reality, it was very anecdotal.
It was way more than that. And we were all spending a lot of time together. We learned a lot of things about, it was just, And me and Tati traveled with James, and we really saw
And you did it at my birthday dinner.
Yes.
Were you at the birthday dinner?
Yeah, I was sat right next to him. I was here. James was there.
What happened
it's
from
funny,
Jeffree
and
Lynn's eyes?
it's a crazy meme of this because of her. No one ever heard my version. They just they saw Tati's video, the birthday dinner.
What actually happened at the
It was the
infamous birthday
height
dinner?
of, it was her birthday, so it was like her friends and family and a lot of normal people, not YouTubers, not people with a lot of money. And to me, it was that height of James's new fame, new money, going batshit crazy and not knowing how to handle it all, and it turned him
Ego.
Yeah,
turned
just
him
ego,
into a monster, or he already was that, and the money amplified it. And he really thought, I have money, you're gonna sleep with me. It was very disgusting. Doesn't matter who you were, you want him. You hear that creak? That's
the silence is loud.
And that
it
shit
had been
happens so often in
weeks of
Hollywood.
buildup of the ego getting so dark and crazy, and just so many weird things and stories coming out to us and really bizarre things. And the dinner was him at his most disgusting. And there was a 19-year-old waiter who he tricked into his room later that night, and the guy said he wanted to leave, and James was like, I paid for this. Yeah, you have to hook up with me. I bought the room. But everyone just makes it about sucking in the memes and her stupid ass video. But it was really, as someone that was there, and I'm all about shock value. I'm crazy. It was just disgusting to witness.
Because it's one thing to say something
And there's
shocking
like
for the bit,
Tati's
but
family there, and we all know we're shocking and we can say whatever we want. But when you're at that environment, you don't say crazy. It was all just too much, and it just bubbled up crazy. And we all flew home just horrified by this person, disgusted. She really felt like in her heart that exposing him as a alleged predator and all these things was going to teach him a lesson and remove him from the platform. It really wasn't about gummies. I think that was the start of it, because to me the gummies was loyalty.
Another thing that I never thought was that, and now Dustin has moved back over there, because I was looking back as I was like editing this video, and it looked like I had a wonky eye, and I was not.
It did a little bit.
I was not. Did it?
No.
Did it really? Do you guys think I look like I had a wonky eye?
I do have a wonky eye, girl, so I'm
You
not
did.
one to judge.
He had to wear a patch.
I did have to wear a
Suspect
patch.
had to wear a patch when
I
he was a
did.
child to correct his vision, but
I
it didn't
did.
work.
And I had Medicaid glasses. I had the patch over the glasses too, and
No.
sometimes they put it over my eye. It was very stressful.
Yeah.
Very, very stressful as a kid.
Oh, don't try to get the.
It was. It was very stressful.
Okay.
It was
He
not.
never adds that part to the story when he jokes around about it at the house. He's
Oh,
just
I mean,
saying
it's
that into the
something funny.
microphone.
Girl, I can look back and laugh at it now. I have to learn it, like, to laugh at other people have to laugh at myself. I think it's funny. Y'all tear me apart in the comments. I think it's hilarious. If I could find a picture, I would show you guys.
I mean, I'll tell you what, it probably really helped with Halloween costumes. Girl, you just put that patch on, you're a pirate. Arr. But what I wanted to say was, I never thought that Jeffree and Shane were just sitting at home either, like, I think we're going to take James Charles down today. I think that there was a little bit of jealousy as well on Jeffree Star's part when it came to James Charles, because Jeffree was used to being like the top dog, and Jeffree loves to be the top dog. That's why he always brings it up about his accolades over on TikTok and the ranks and all that kind of stuff, which, okay, cool. We get it. Like, we understand. But Jeffree loves to be at the top. So when James Charles was like surpassing, getting the deals and all that kind of stuff, I think maybe there could have been a little bit of, this is just my opinion, there could have been a little bit of persuasion, you know.
Listen, this is what I think about the whole thing between Tati, James, and Jeffree Star. I think that this is Jeffree once again planting the seeds again, hoping that somebody will pick this up and it'll grow again and he can capitalize off of it. And if the truth would actually come out, I would be fine with that. But this is something that Jeffree Star does over and over and over again, and we always have the same outcome, which is nothing.
I don't think they talked about the voice memo.
Well,
that's very interesting that nobody brought up the voice memo. I wonder if Trisha's going to bring up the voice memo in the Just Trish podcast.
I don't know if Trisha will get that far into it. I
Maybe
don't
you
think
played
that
it
she
for
wants
her.
to get that. Oh God, could you imagine? I hope not. I don't think that Trisha wants to get involved
An
with
exclusive. Play it for Oscar.
that. Oh God. No,
Play it for someone. Can somebody confirm if the voice recording
I
is
love
real?
Oscar. I love Trisha, but I don't think that Jeffree Star would do that because I think that Oscar still might be friendly with James. Or he doesn't like James.
No.
But I know that he's friends with Daniel, and Daniel sure is, and so is Joey and Manny, so it's the same thing.
Oh, Daniel was another one that was trying to like say it was about sugar bear hair. Like people are trying to ruin people's lives over vitamins.
Daniel would. Daniel will say anything. I've proven time and time again that Daniel Prada is a liar, and he's for whoever he's with at the moment. Whatever Daniel Prada says means nothing and holds no merit.
And I still have to say, I think that Jeffree Star went on the canceled podcast and is going on the Just Trish podcast. It's going to be a big one with Trisha because obviously the friendship falling out that they had and all that drama that surrounded that. But I think it was kind of like a dig at Tati Westbrook as well because she went on Michelle Phan's podcast. Yeah. I'm not trying to knock Michelle Phan. I'm sure she's great and all that. Although I've seen her on some like TikTok live streams selling like the Medicube stuff. And she's just like whacking herself in the face with this like device.
I want to know the real tea with what happened with Michelle Phan because the last we heard of her before this Tati thing, she was praying. She was allegedly praying people out of wheelchairs. And COVID could be cured by essential oils and things. So
COVID-19.
I want like what happened with her? Like what snapped her back into reality? Like
money.
Probably.
The cult was not working out.
It
wasn't working for her. She said, I need to get back on the TikTok and I need to start selling products. That's all she does over on TikTok. That's all I see from her. But when I think about podcast and the influencer world, I'm not thinking of Michelle Phan. Sorry, girl. I'm thinking of Tana, Brooke, canceled. I'm thinking of Just Trish.
All I'm going to say is I watched the Michelle Phan podcast. I don't know how much you watched of it. She actually she did do a very good podcast in my opinion because she actually allowed Tati to speak. When you have people like Manny doing podcasts with people like Jacqueline, they never allow their guests to speak. And she allowed Tati to have time and articulate what she wanted to say and the things that she wanted to convey. So in that respect, I think it was a great podcast. I think it was good for her. I'm not probably going to listen to it ever again unless she has somebody on there that's going to spill some tea. But I thought, like, if you're into that type of thing, I think she did great.
The question is for everyone, when do you think that James Charles is going to start his podcast tour? I don't think that James really did any kind of like press or anything for his brand when it launched, right? Which is something that Jeffree Star says that he will never review.
No, who is that girl? I've talked about her a few times. I can never remember her name. She's had Jacqueline on her podcast.
Oh, Avery Woods.
Yeah, she had him on the podcast, and he
did she?
Yeah, she had him on there, and he told a whole bunch of damn lies, and he basically said that
we probably talked about it, didn't we?
He's telling the truth because he's never threatened to sue anybody. But like, come on, girl.
I mean, wouldn't that mean that those people are telling the truth? Because if they were spreading malicious lies about you,
wouldn't you? I don't know. It's just very weird to me. But I think James Charles will probably go on a podcast tour.
I don't know. Trisha and Oscar have been very open to the idea, it sounds like, when they've talked about it on their podcast. The audience does not want that at all. Of course, there's some people in the comment section that do want it because they're like, what's the drama going to be? Like, what's going to happen? I don't think that James Charles, if he went on a podcast tour, would be honest. I don't. No. I don't know how anybody could believe anything that came out of his mouth, considering he did a No More Lies video and then had to take everything back, basically, and apologize because he got called out for the exact same shit and apologize to his victims. So he's going to lie to you.
Girl,
He's going
James Charles promised change behavior, and he got caught in that same behavior, but worse, multiple times. There's nothing changing about James Charles ever.
Nope. So with all that said, everyone, that is it for this video. We hope that you did enjoy it. If you have made it this far in the video, please hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up, but also leave a tooth emoji, because Tana's tooth is always popping out of her head, and Jeffree loves to talk about teeth.
Yeah.
People are still very upset about Jeffree talking about Trixie Mattel's teeth.
Yeah, they are.
There's
They're
more
big
videos
mad.
coming out. We're going to have to do another video about it.
We should. People are really mad
They're
about
pissed.
that. They're defending the hell out of
They
Trixie.
are. We'll see you guys all in the next video.
Bye.